Are you having trouble computing numbers just by using your imagination? Does a simple addition of two-digit numbers sounds confusing without the use of a calculator? How much more if you are to compute three digits or even much more higher digits? Mind blown. What's even more creepy and shocking is that you've left your phone or calculator at home. And do you know what's even worse? It's when somebody asks you for the computation and you both left your phone and calculators at home. Well, if this is the case, then don't lose hope. Because in this video, we are going to explore some of the amazing and useful tips and tricks in doing mathematics mentally. Think about it, being able to compute numbers mentally is such a great deal and comes in handy. You will never feel troubled anymore. As to where is your calculator, and you will be much more confident and feel like a wizard. So without much further ado, let's get right into it.
Okay, so before we start, allow me to introduce myself. I am Mr. the Mathematician, and I am here to guide you on your way to mental mathematics. As of this moment, I request that you prepare yourself and clear off your mind. Let us first do a little warm-up before we start on our mathematical exercises. Always remember that it is very important that before any training requires a warm-up, and just like any athletes, before they execute or play the actual game, they make sure that their muscles are ready and that they are mentally sharp and focused for the game. Let us have first at least a little bit of your time to condition your mind in order to prepare it from the following mathematical tricks that will be shared to you later on in this video. So to start, you need to get pumped up and let the blood flow from your veins so that it can bring up the oxygen needed for better performance and functioning of the mind. First off, you will need to activate your body mechanics by letting the energy flow within you. But if you feel like you don't need an exercise and that you are extremely pumped up, then you may skip the exercise part. Although I do suggest that you participate with the exercise, as it will help your mind and body flow the oxygen needed for you to stay sharp and active throughout the course. Let us now have an exercise. Don't worry, this will be simple and no equipment is needed. Okay, for our first exercise we will do 3 sets of jumping jacks for about 30 seconds each set. Please be ready now as we are about to perform it. 3, 2, 1, start. Now breathe in some air. Inhale. And exhale. Do it one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now let's proceed to the second set of jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1, start. Now breathe in some air. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now let's proceed to the last set. 3, 2, 1, start. Now breathe in some air. Inhale. And exhale. Excellent. Now that we're done with the exercise, you are now already pumped up and ready to execute and learn our topic for the day. Traditionally, almost all of the students on mathematics classes were taught to add mathematical equations from right to left. Well, actually not just addition, but mostly all of the mathematical operations were done from right to left. This is great only when you try to solve the problem on the paper or while writing. It's very easy to add while writing as it is visible to your eyes, and you can simply imagine the numbers that you can see. Another thing to point out is when you solve numbers using the right to left technique, when you try to solve it using your mind, you will probably thinking of solving it backwards as you are trying to solve it starting from the left. But in this course today, we are going to learn how to add mathematical equations using our mind. We are going to solve mathematics equation using the left to right method. Let me show to you the set of activities that we are going to perform today. We are going to specialize a training session on 3 categories. First, we will have 2 sets of solving addition equation by following the left to right procedure by using a paper. Second, we will have 2 sets of solving addition equations mentally with guided visual material. And lastly, we will have 2 sets of exercise of solving addition equations by using only your auditory skills and imagination. So without much further ado, let's get started. Before we start the exercise, please make sure that you have your paper, ball pen or pencil with you. So let's get right into it. Solving addition equation using the left to right method. Well, I assume that you are already well familiar with adding 1-digit numbers. If not, then get used to it and familiarize first adding 1-digit numbers. So if you are ready, then let's go through our exercise. Let us start with an example. Given if the equation does not require you to carry out numbers, then it will be simple for you. On our first example, we have 55 plus 34. Let's try to solve it using the left to right method. Instead of adding 34 to the number 55, we can get a piece of its part to make it an intact number and add up to its remaining. Think of the 30 as the whole part and its sidekick or its excess part is the number 4. Now with this figure that a number is broken down into pieces, it would be much easier for you to mentally imagine on solving the equation. We can now first add up 55 to 30. We then get 85 as our answer. Remember that we would still need to add the remaining piece, which number 4. So now you add up number 85 to the remaining number 4, then you will have a sum of 89. Easy, right? In this example it was easy for us to solve it mentally because we don't have to carry out numbers. But what if we carry out numbers that have big digits and applies the carrying of other numbers? Let us have another example. Okay, we have 87 plus 53. Let us first break 53 into 2 pieces. Instead of adding it directly to 53, let's say 50 plus 3. Just like on our first sample problem, we have break it into smaller parts and make it easier for the brain to perceive a number that has a tail of 0. In this format our imagination may take a lot of process thinking where to put the numbers to carry and so many stuffs that can lead up to confusion when thinking it mentally. So that is why we have derived it into a simpler parts first before solving it out. It's like you're tricking your brain that the numbers you're trying to solve are easy and small. So let us continue solving. Now we first add 87 to the number 50. Then we come up with a sum of 137. Next let's go add it up with the remaining number 3. 137 plus 3 is equals to 140. Whether it is an equation that requires you to carry out numbers or not, it still has the same easy way to solve numbers mentally. Now you might be asking, what if the numbers given were more than 2 digits? So let us take a look at an example having a bigger value or digit. 227 plus 918. Well, as far as the numbers can go, we still use the same technique to solve out this problem. So before we add 227 to 918, again, let us first break 918 into smaller parts. So now we will have 900 plus 10 plus 8. Just like the first 2 examples, we can easily then solve this out, tricking our imagination that the numbers are now broken into much simpler and smaller digit. So 227 plus 900 is equal to 1127. Next we add up to 1127 to 10, we will then come up with a sum of 1137. Now we add up the sum 1137 to the last piece of digit, which is number 8. We will have a total of 1145. Well, you see it goes on the same process as with the 2-digit. The same procedure still applies when you will have 4 digits and above. Now that you have an insight on how the process works when solving mathematical equations from left to right, let us now solve some exercise problems in order for you to practice what you have just learned. For this exercise you will only be given 30 seconds to answer all of the 5 problems that will be given. Use the technique that we just taught and solve the problem as quick as you can before the time expires. 3, 2, 1, start. Now let us see if you got all the problems right. If you did solve all of it right, then you have just done a great job. Well, if you didn't got it all correctly, then don't worry. With a little bit more of practice and persistence in following the procedure, you will then soon be able to master the technique. Now let us go to an advanced level of solving out the problem. Let us have an addition problem with 3-digit numbers. But we will be going to solve it with a little bit of challenge. Because now you are going to solve the problem one at a time for specified number of seconds. So now prepare yourself and also prepare your paper and list down all your answers. After the exercise you will be given the correct answers for each equation for you to compare if you got it right or not. 3, 2, 1, start. Now let us check all the answers of the problem. Hopefully that you got it all right. If you didn't got it right, still don't worry. With practice and a little bit more of time you will soon be comfortable on solving much more higher numbers. Okay, for now we are advancing into a new level in which I ask that you now put away the papers with you, for we are now about to add numbers just by using our imagination or mental ability. Just like on the previous set of exercises, we are still going to use the left to right method in solving the addition equation. The only difference is that you will not need any materials in jotting down your answers or solution. You will only use your mind. In this exercise our main objective is to practice your mind in adding numbers mentally without the need of a paper or any materials. Please prepare yourself now, for we are about to start. 3, 2, 1, start. Well, that was quite a practice we have there. Hopefully that you were able to solve all the problems correctly. But if you weren't able to solve it as fast as the time expires, then don't worry. Continue practicing your mental abilities in solving mathematics, and gradually you will see amazing developments on your progress. Okay, before we proceed, why don't you take a break for a while? Okay, we're back in action. In this set of exercise we will still be adding numbers, but we are going to remove visual guides. No equation will be displayed on the screen. You will only hear the problem that you are going to solve in this set. The main objective of this exercise is to practice more of your mental ability on thinking the numbers that you are trying to solve without having any visual guides given. So please listen carefully and stay focused. Get ready now as we are about to begin. 3, 2, 1. Start. 95 plus 64. 68 plus 48. 77 plus 71. 82 plus 96. 18 plus 92. 46 plus 97. 79 plus 55. 62 plus 37. 37 plus 78. 99 plus 88. 'Now let's put a little bit of challenge by adding 3 digits and above mentally. Get ready now as we are about to begin. 322 plus 644. 788 plus 454. 345 plus 678. 963 plus 741. 632 plus 874. 980 plus 360. 585 plus 758. 984 plus 757. 807 plus 993. 9,921 plus 189. 'Well, that was intense and very challenging. I hope that you were able to get it all right. With sheer practice and inner focus, you will eventually become a master of this technique. So if you feel down because you weren't able to solve the equation correctly, then don't despair. Always look at the brighter side. There is always a room for improvements. Practice more and make this a habit. Make a regular routine wherein you won't use calculators anymore in trying to solve mathematical equations. Try to do it with your mind and with the technique that you have just learned. Well, that's all for today. Hope that you find this method helpful and useful. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more of this course, follow us by clicking the subscribe button and by hitting the notification bell, so that every time we will have a new upload you will be notified immediately. Always remember, mathematics is not only for geniuses, it's for everyone. Learn to live and love mathematics. See you on our next course. Till next time, Math Wizards.